Respected Chairperson, Co-Chair, speakers on the dais, and very learned gathering. It is an immutable law in business that words are words, explanations are explanations, promises are promises, but only performance is reality. I come from the world of entrepreneurs. I run my own enterprises. And I learn from hundreds, thousands of other entrepreneurs who keep in touch with me through various interactions. I share with you what I see the impact of Z on the Indian SME manufacturing sector especially. I believe that the Z could be the next X factor for the Indian SME sector. And I see a roadmap towards making Make in India happen. Last year on 15th of August, when the Honorable Prime Minister unveiled his wish and called for Make in India, and also called for the zero defect, zero effect model. And if I look back and if I ask a question almost a year later, and often I interact with a lot of people, I sometimes find very radically different views. Whether Make in India is a moment, it's a call, whether it's a dream or a reality. I believe that it depends upon exactly what I did or what we did in the last 1 year. And that normally formulates the answer one would have, the perception one would have. I've seen various paradigm shifts taking place in history. For radio, Lord Kelvin once said that it has no future. Even Beatles, many years before in 1962, were told that groups of guitars are on their way out and that no one would like their music. Bill Gates, just a few years back in 1981, said that something like 640,000 US should be enough for anybody. For computers also, just a few years back, it was predicted that the world's smallest computer may weigh something like 1.5 tons. There were people who ridiculed cars as well. I believe in the horse. Kaiser Wilhelm said, the automobile is just a temporary occurrence. In fact, even Carl Benz in 1920 thought that the car is now completely developed. What else can still come? And when 1929 depression happened, at that time the professor of economy, Irving Fisher, said that it looks like the stock markets have reached a permanent high level. We've seen many examples of paradigm shift taking place in history, in time. In fact, just when the caterpillar thought that the world was over, it became a butterfly. This, I believe, is happening to the Indian manufacturing sector, especially the SMEs. However, I believe that if we continue to do the things the same way we have been doing till now, we will not get same results anymore. Every nation, every people, every time, there has to be a disruptive idea, a disruptive innovation, which needs to rock the world. We've seen digital images making an impact on codec. When a company with 140,000 people, with 80% of the world's market share, they filed for bankruptcy in January 2012. And in the same year, just 2 months later, in fact, on 9th of April 2012, a small company which was formed just 18 months back called Instagram. The Facebook purchased Instagram for $1 billion. And at that time, there were 13 people working in Instagram. We've seen disruptive innovations rocking the world. I think that our disruptive idea, unveiled on 2014, is Make in India. And this is one idea which, coupled with zero defect, zero effect, should have a major impact in our working. I struggle with my work every day. And often I ask myself question whether doing business is an art or science. If doing business is an art, I am perhaps the wrong person at the wrong place. When I supply components to automobile sector or pharma sector or anywhere, it's not art. One bad defect can lead to accidents, major accidents. But if doing business is science, then every time 2 + 2 should be 4. But we see different results at different places. I believe that there's a scientific roadmap to growth and sustainability, and Z would have a major impact on this. I'll very quickly take you through this 10-step process. ZIC should be the next X factor which shall bring a paradigm shift in this roadmap to create sustainable, competitive, responsible SMEs. The first, everybody would understand, is that enterprise must maintain global standards in quality. It has to be zero defect. Z talks about zero defect. The second is that there is no alternate to productivity and efficiency. And when we talk about zero effect, I believe that Z would also focus on reduction of wastages, elimination of wastages in a system, lean manufacturing practices, thereby leading to many automations and many other productive measures. Third, very important for any business is the value addition, the innovation. The Z factor, I believe the roadmap as I see is through the improvisations every month, moving up the value chain. And I heard Mr. Ratan speak about continuous improvement, and this would have a major impact on the sector. The fourth, fundamental for any business to grow, is also to manage knowledge as wealth. Maybe in times to come, as improvements happen in enterprise, it could even lead to some patents, some more innovation, some more knowledge getting institutionalized. Fifth, fundamental for any business is to continuously find blue oceans, new opportunities, new markets. The Z factor, I see, should give more acceptability to our products and services world over. And especially in a world of e-commerce, this would have a major impact. Financially, I see that Z factor, now there's a new credit rating model which is coming, which would be embedded with green parameters. And this could even incentivize manufacturing, the green manufacturing especially, maybe in tax terms, maybe in trust rates terms. I think this would have a major impact in the SME world. The team building, Z factor would definitely give a better environment to work. And even in terms of succession, I see, because every day I find new generation not enthused about manufacturing. I think Z may have an impact, then maybe my son also would, for a change, like to join my business and not think elsewhere. Compliance is the ninth thing, the new era risks. Of course, zero effect becomes fundamental to the growing awareness for green and for the compliance models. And the 10th, very important, is that every business needs to be networked through various progressive organizations. And I see that there's a lot of support mechanism coming from QCI and all stakeholders, and trying to infuse a new era of manufacturing in this world. I believe and I see that technology would never replace entrepreneurs. But entrepreneurs who use technology will replace entrepreneurs who do not. And this primary thing is making an impact already. We are seeing a world which is manufacturing differently. We are seeing a 3D technology now which is actually producing not through the destructive mechanism, but through the additive mechanism, where there is hardly any effect, where there's hardly any wastage or scrap. I see that in next 5 years that the world of manufacturing is dramatically going to change. I see a paradigm shift, almost like what digital cameras did to Kodak. This is the way 3D printing is going to do to a lot of manufacturing sector. So the world, in any case, is moving towards an era of zero defect and zero effect, either through 3D or through the traditional manufacturing mechanisms. So Z factor, I see many futuristic programs for SMEs coming up, capacity building programs, and also the new credit rating models for SMEs embedded with green parameters. I also see that even the roles of SME associations are changing very fast. In fact, many of us, for example, at IMSME of India, we've started even a READY Center, Research Development Center, which is now making apps for its world, which is introducing new ERPs and new systems which are mobile-based. And through this paradigm shift, I see that the entire networking amongst the entrepreneurs is also changing. This, friends, should change the game very soon. And I see Z giving us infinite possibilities much faster than many of us would believe. This is the paradigm shift in the roadmap to success that I, as an entrepreneur, see. Thank you very much.